Hi ladies and gentlemen, today is March 26th, 2017, and obviously there's some changes. I've added a blue screen and a green screen, and I'll be using these to layer in information behind me during certain presentations as I get the time. It won't happen often. It's not just for variety, it's also a tool. So we'll see how that goes. That's the first thing I wanted to say. The second thing is I wanted to bring up again opdeepstate.com. It's the website where you can go and spend just 1 minute is all. Once a day, or you can do it all together once a week, whatever you decide on. And you can download one of those form letters and either email it to the people involved that they're addressed to, or you can send it snail mail. And it's a good way to get involved. It's small, yes, but a lot of people doing this will be a big thing. Letter writing doesn't normally make a big change, but right now, with all that's going on, and especially what these letters say, I think you'll find that they are in fact going to have an impact, especially when a lot of people are doing it, and it's so easy to do. So I encourage you to go to the website and to take care of that. That was the first thing I wanted to bring up. And again, I want to thank all of the people who have worked on opdeepstate.com. They've done some fantastic things. If you go there now, they've added some additional videos and some other information. And I suspect that they'll keep doing this during the course of all that's going on. And so, you know, they don't ask for you to do anything, but just to take a few minutes of your time and send those letters out. So please go to the website and look at it and get involved. We'd appreciate it. Now, the real subject matter of this video is a very interesting situation that's going on. You will all recall that our government officials at all levels, the Southern Poverty Law Center, a private center, and all of these Marxist leftist organizations have insisted that God be taken out of everything, okay? Especially Christianity. You know, take down the crosses, take down the 10 Commandments. You can't have, you know, the poor Marine who's being court-martialed for having nothing more than a biblical quote on her computer. We saw the situation where there was a retirement ceremony for a military member some time ago, and the speaker started talking about, you know, a little bit about religion, which you do in certain situations, especially at retirements and funerals and things like that. And the military removed him. Okay, people in uniform came up and removed him from speaking. We have the situation in schools, like I said, where if you have any mention of Jesus or whatever, they'll tell you to take it out of your child's essay or whatever, or if you talk about that in some way or another, they lower your grade or don't count it. We see at the universities and in other places, and I won't belabor this, I know you know what I'm talking about, where they say that it's improper to talk about Christianity. Okay, so the excuse is that it's government support for a religion. Well, first of all, the First Amendment says that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, nor prohibiting the free exercise thereof. That's very critical. You have to be able to freely exercise. And while there's some things that need to be regulated, certainly, you know, killing, you know, human sacrifice, we're not going to put up with that. But I'm not going to go there today. There's another reason for this video, and it's going to be obvious to you when I finish here. I have said for a long time, and so have other people, that Islam is not a religion. That it masks itself as a religion, but it's actually a political movement. That's what it is. It's a political ideology masked as a religion. And I could explain some things to you about where Muhammad got that. And I've kind of hinted about it on a couple of videos, that this was something that he saw in the early stages of Christianity, and that he took some things from Christianity and took some things from the Jewish Talmud and combined them into a religion of force, which in fact is a political movement of force, just like communism, just like Marxism, just like Nazism, etc., etc. And some people would say capitalism, but anyway, you see my point. Okay, it's not a faith. Let's put it that way. It's not a faith that you can bring into your heart and into your mind and improve yourself, as much as it is that if other people do not convert to it under an Islamicist order, that they can be punished with death for non-conversion. That's not just a spiritual system, ladies and gentlemen. That's politics. That's militarism. Okay, so at the beginning of this I said, remember all of these things the government said you can't have religion in schools. Can't have religion in schools. That's very, very important about what I'm going to say here in just a minute. Especially they won't let you talk about Christianity. That's really the number one thing. But technically, you know, they jump on anyone who's trying to say anything about religion. Even handing out pamphlets on a college campus on some religion. Even Hare Krishnas, for that matter. Okay, whatever. They look down upon that and they don't want you to do it. Right? What have we seen here in the last? Wow, especially the last year. It's been going on in increments for some time. But what have we seen? We have seen actual colonies, towns, cities that are primarily Muslim, fine, but they are not doing a Republican form of government guaranteed under the Constitution. They are trying to implement, and have in many places, implemented Sharia law, contrary to the constitutional republic's requirements, that the government will not, that the Congress will not make any law respecting an establishment of religion, or allowing that to happen at a government level. And we're seeing that happen here. Actual law, Sharia law, being used to replace constitutional law. It gets worse. In our public schools, we are now learning about Islam, about the pillars of Islam, about how to pray Islamic prayers. And they're doing it pretending that it's studying a religion. Now, the question we all ask is, can you imagine them talking about Christianity and teaching about, you know, the Beatitudes and about the crucifixion for the remission of sins, the suffering of Christ for the remission of sins, things like that? Can you see them saying, well, let's understand Christianity? Can you see that? No, of course not, because they'll say, we can't have religion in the schools. Here's my point. Do you see what's tacitly under the surface, but staring us right in the face here? What's happening? Did I not say Islam is a political, ideological movement? Basically a government by these imams that have power and authority everywhere they go and use force and violence to institute their political agenda, their power, their government. Did I not say that? So in effect, what these schools and governments, etc., are doing by allowing these prayer rooms in schools and government buildings, allowing discussions of Muslims and Islam in general, all of these things, allowing them to talk about it, the government is actually telling you that Islam is not a religion, that it is politics, that it is governmental. Otherwise, it could not be allowed, right? Do you see how they're doing this? It's subtle, but it's right in our face. All of the Christians and all of us are saying, this is wrong, you know, you won't let Christianity in here and won't let us talk about that, you know, but you allow the Muslims to do it, and they're not listening. Why? Because they know, in fact, that it is a political movement. It is a political ideology more than it is a religion. They've just taken the stand, our governmental leaders and the SPLC and all these other disgusting things out there that are trying to take down the Constitutional Republic of the United States and use all kinds of divisions to do it, racism, you know, religion, etc., etc. And they're allowing Islam to be taught and flourish to such an extent that they'll allow military operations, which is what this refugee crisis really is, against us and against the Europeans anywhere. Notice Japan doesn't let them in, neither does China, because they're political movements and they recognize it. So by their own fruits, by their own actions, all of the governmental and private organizations that have been pushing Islam prove that it is not a religion, or they wouldn't allow it there under their own directives. This is politics. This is governmental. They've admitted that Islam is not a religion, but is in fact a political, ideological movement.